Hello everyone. Today I'm making the other new movie in order to deliver you the chapter 6. Chapter 6 based on my course syllabus, but chapter 18 based on textbook. So this slide I put chapter 18 based on textbook. The title of this chapter is Measuring the Price Level and the Inflation. Measuring the price level and the inflation. So when you see this title, what do you think about this chapter? Or what do you expect to learn, to see, to get from this chapter? That's why when you study, you will see title of each chapter. When you see the title of each chapter, you need to have expectation on each chapter. Your expectation can guide you, maybe tell you the way to go through this chapter. Okay, this is the objective points for this chapter that we need to learn. In this chapter, you will learn to explain how the Consumer Price Index (CPI) is constructed, is developed, or is estimated, or is computed. Then we will learn to explain how to use CPI, in order to calculate, in order to estimate the inflation rate. That's why this point, in order to estimate, in order to calculate the inflation rate for one economy, we need to use CPI. That's why in order to calculate inflation rate, we need to use CPI. So how CPI is estimated? Okay, how CPI is estimated or how CPI is calculated? This is the first point. Second point, show how the CPI is used to eliminate the effects of inflation in economic data. So when we have CPI, how can we use CPI in order to eliminate the effects of inflation rate in economic data? Third, discuss the three most important biases in CPI calculation. Discuss the three most important problems in CPI calculation. 4. Distinguish between inflation and relative price changes in order to understand the true cost of inflation. So number 4, we need to understand clearly the difference between inflation and relative price change. If you understand clearly the difference between inflation and relative price change, you can understand the true cost of inflation. 5. Understand the connections, the relationships among inflation rate, nominal interest rate, and the real interest rate in economy. Okay, so these are the 5 points objective learning that we will look through for this chapter. Okay, to start this chapter, I will raise one story. This story is about baseball player in United States. In 1930s, with S, what does it mean? In 1930s with S, it means 10 years period or a decade period. So when we say 1930s with S, it means that this is start from 1930 to 1939. Okay, so when we say 1930s with S, this is 10 years period or a decade period. However, if we say 1930 without S, this is only 1 year period. 1 year period is 1930, not 10 years period. But when in this case 10 years period. In 1930s, Bobby Rath was the top players or the best player in the United States, could earn the salary of $80,000. Whereas the president of the United States at that time could earn the salary only $75,000. Based on this, Rudd said that I had a better year. I had a better year because the Rudd said that because his salary was greater than president's salary. However, in 2000s, the average salary for baseball players was 30 times more than average player made in Rudd time. Rudd in 1931, in Rudd time 1930s. So 30 times more than average player in Rudd time in 2000s. However, the best player or the top player, the same rank as Rudd in 2000s, Barry Bonds could earn 10.3 million in 2001. So Rudd was the best player in 1931. In 2001, Barry Bonds could earn $10.3 million. In 2010s, the average salary for baseball player was 50 times greater than or more than the average players made in Rudd time. In Rudd's time, okay. However, the top player or the best player, the same ranks as Rudd in 2015, Clayton Kershaw, could earn 31,000. Oh, sorry, not 31,000, $31 million in 2015. So you can see the top player in 1930 could earn 80,000. The top players in 2001 could earn 10.3 million. The top player in 2015 could earn 31 million. This is money income. Okay, money income for the top players, but different time. In 1931, 2001, 2015. So based on this slide, what we want to learn or what we want to see from this information? The top player, or the best player, or the best player, the best player. The best player here 80,000 salary, the best player here $10 million salary, the best player here $31 million salary. Okay. Question. Based on this slide, we have questions. Was Barry Bonds in 2001 able to buy more goods, more services with his salary than Bobby Rudd in 1930s with the salary 80,000? Okay, so this question means that, in short, this question means that $10.3 million in 2000 is better than $80,000 in 1930s. So in short, this question means that $10.3 million in 2000s is greater than $80,000 in 1930s. The other one, was Clayton Cashier able to buy more goods or services in 2000 with his salary $31 million than Rad in 1930 with his salary 80,000. So the second question means that was $31 million in 2010s better than $80,000 in 1930s? Better. What does it mean better? Better that mean yes, this more power than. So better that mean this money has more power than this money. If 80,000 better than, if 80,000 in 1930 is better than 31 million in 2010s, it means that 80,000 could have more power, purchasing power, buying power than 31 million in 2010s. Okay, so this is a long question, but in short, I just the short meaning for this question is 10.3 million was, it should be was better than $80,000. Okay, 80,000. And this question is, was 31 million better than $80,000? $31 million was 31 million better than 80,000? Second, the first question was 10.3 million better than 80,000. Of course, when if you focus on, or you base on amount of money, if you base on amount of money, sure, 10 million, 100% sure, 10 million is greater than, more amount than 80,000. 31 million, sure, is sure, more amount than 80,000. This is if we based on amount of money. But this question not based on amount of money, based on goods, services. Okay, based on goods, services. It means that 10 million can buy more goods, services, can buy more goods, services than 80,000. 31 million can buy more goods, services than 80,000. That's why this is the meaning of the question. This is because the price were too much lower in 1930s compared to 2000s or compared to 2010s. However, these two questions, it's not clear whether Rad enjoyed a higher or lower standard of living than player in 2000s, Barry Bonds, or player in 2010s, Cashier, Clayton Cashier. So we are not clear, we are not sure to answer this question. So how to be sure to answer this question? In order to be sure to answer these two questions, we need to learn this chapter. By working with real quantities, economists can find the clear answer. by comparing the real incomes of Bobby Rudd in 1931 to Barry Bonds in 2000s, or Baby Rudd in 1931 to Clayton Cashier in 2010s. That's why in order to be clear to answer these two questions, we need to find real quantity or real income. Real quantity or real income. How about this one? 80,000, 10.3 million, 31 million dollar. Are these real income? No, they are not a real income. So what are they then? They are nominal income or money income. They are not real income. So you may ask, what is a real income? This is nominal income or money income. This is nominal income or money income. But you may ask, what is real income? What is real quantities? Okay, that's why we need to learn this chapter. To compare Baby Rudd's salary of 80,000 to salaries from today player or 2000s player, 2010s player, we need to find some ways. We need to find some ways, some methods, some strategies of turning money amounts, or turning nominal income, money income, into meaningful measures of purchasing power. Purchasing power. What does it mean, purchasing power? Purchasing power is the power to buy, to purchase. Purchasing power is for more than buying power. But however, you can say buying power. But this is not formal word. The formal one is purchasing power. The power of money that can buy goods, services. That's why we call purchasing power. That is exactly the job of a statistic called the Consumer Price Index, or in short, the CPI. The CPI is used to monitor, to measure the changes in cost of living over time, from time to time. Over time, for example, Rudd 1931, 2001, 2015. Rudd 1931 was the top player. Barry Bond in 2001 was the top player. Clayton Cashier 2015 was the top player. So we use CPI in order to monitor or to measure the changes in the cost of living over time. When the CPI rises, when the CPI goes up, the typical consumer or the typical household has to spend more amount of money, in order to maintain the same standard of living. In order to keep the same standard of living, every consumer, every household must spend more amount of money in order to when the CPI goes up. The basic tool that economists use to measure the price level of inflation is called Consumer Price Index, CPI. Okay, this is also CPI. So CPI is used in order to monitor, is used in order to measure, in order to oversee, in order to check the changes in cost of living over time. So when CPI goes up, typically consumer or household will spend more amount of money in order to maintain the same standard of level, same standard of living. That's why CPI is the basic tool that economists use in order to measure the price level and inflation in one economy. CPI is a measure of overall cost of goods and services both by typical consumers or household in one economy. CPI for any current period. CPI for any current period. It should be annually, 1 year, quarterly, 3 months, or monthly, 1 month. Measures the overall cost of a standard basket of goods and services. So measures overall cost of a standard basket of goods and services both by a typical consumer or household relative to, compared to, overall cost of the same standard basket in base year. Compare to, relative to, that means we use division. This is that we use in order to calculate, in order to construct, in order to develop CPI, Consumer Price Index. So in order to find CPI in current period, CPI for current period or in current period, any period, current period, it depends on if you want to study 1 month. If you want to study in 3 month quarter, is study in 1 year. Okay, so CPI in current period equal to cost of a standard basket in current period divided by this is relative to, relative to is been divided by the cost of the same standard above here, the same standard, but this is base year, this is current year, this is base year, and multiplied by 100, not 100%, only 100 multiplied by 100. Okay, so again, CPI for any current period measures the overall cost of a standard basket of goods services in current period divided or relative to divided overall cost of the same standard basket in the base period and multiplied by 100, but not 100%. Okay, multiplied by 100. Note, your textbook CPI does not multiply by 100 at first. So the beginning or explanation based on in your textbook, the first explanation, the author did not multiply by 100, but after that the author put multiplied by 100, but it does afterward. Okay, so this is the way that we use, or this is the formula that we use in order to find CPI. CPI in any current period equal to the cost of standard basket in that period divided by the cost of the same basket in base period multiplied by 100. So how to construct, how to develop, how to estimate, how to calculate CPI, how the CPI is calculated. So we have one method, or we have one strategy that has 4 steps. In order to calculate CPI, in order to estimate CPI, in order to develop the CPI, in order to construct CPI, we use one method, one way, one strategy that has 4 steps. Step 1. the CPI calculator need to standardize the basket. What does it mean, standardize the basket? That means we need to fix the basket. So fix, it means not change. Fix different from change. So standardize the basket, make the basket become a standard. When the basket become a standard, this basket cannot be changed for any period. Okay, when this basket becomes standard, this basket cannot be changed for any period. That's why we call standard basket or fixed basket. So how to standardize the basket? So we have basket like here. In order to standardize the basket, you need the CPI calculator need to determine, need to find out what goods, what services are the most important to typical consumers, typical household in their own country, in their own economy. Then we put this good into the basket, we put this service into the basket. So if we put this good into the basket, if we put this service into the basket, this good, this service cannot be changed, for the other years, for the other period. If this good change or this service change, this basket is not standard, it's not fixed. So standardize the basket means determine in the basket, you need a calculator, CPI calculator need to determine what goods, what services are the most important for typical consumer household in their own economy. That's why put this good into the basket, put this service into the basket. If these goods and these services are put into the basket, these goods and these services in the basket cannot be changed. What does it mean cannot be changed? Cannot be changed in terms of quantity, cannot be changed in terms of the types of goods or services. Okay, that's why this good, this service in the basket make this basket become standard or become fixed. So if we already standardize basket, it means that if we already determine the important goods, the important services for the household, for the consumer, we need to find step 2, price. Because when you take basket, go to the market and buy this good into the basket, buy this service into the basket, these good, this service that are available in the marketplace are not for free. They are subject to the charge, money charge. That's why the consumers or the household need to understand how much they pay for these goods, how much they pay for this service in order to take this good from the marketplace to their basket. In order to take this service from marketplace to the basket, consumers, household need to pay. Pay to whom? Pay to the sellers. That's why if you want to know how much you pay, you need to know the price. Step 2, find the prices. Step 2, find the prices. Find the price of each of the goods and services in the basket for each point in time. Each point in time, what does it mean? Maybe today, tomorrow, this week, next week, this month, next month, this year, next year, this quarter, next quarter, this semester, next semester. That's why each point in time, from time to time. Okay? So when you know the price and you know the goods, what does it mean? You know the quantity that you buy. You know the quantity that you buy in the basket. You know the quantities of services that you buy. You know the quantities of goods that you buy. So when you know the quantities of services you buy, or the consumers buy, or household buy, and you know the quantities that consumer buy or household buy, and moreover you know the price, you can find step 3. Step 3, compute or calculate the cost. the cost of basket or basket cost. Okay, so again, in this basket, you buy goods inside, you buy service inside. So you need to know how much you pay for good, how much you pay for service. That's why if you know how much to pay for goods, if you know how much to pay for service, if you add them together, this is basket cost. So step 3, compute the basket cost. Using data on price step 2, using data on price step 2 and the fixed basket step 1, you can calculate the cost of the basket of goods services at different points in time. How to compute the cost? The cost of goods. The cost of goods equal to quantity that you buy that goods multiplied by market of that good. If you buy many goods, you need to find the cost for each good and then you add them together. How about the cost of service? The cost of service, same thing. You need to know the quality of service that you buy and you need to know the price of service that you pay. And you can find the cost of one service. If you buy many services together in your basket, you need to add them together. So when you know the total cost of good in your basket and you know the total cost of service in your basket, add them together. This is we call basket cost or the cost of the basket. Okay. So today you calculate one time because you go to the marketplace, you buy goods services into the basket today and you pay the cost for today. Tomorrow you go again to buy the same goods services because your basket is standard. You cannot change goods or you cannot change services in terms of types of goods, in terms of quantity. So tomorrow you go to the marketplace, you buy the same goods today and you pay cost for tomorrow. Next week you go to the marketplace to buy the same goods, same services today and you pay for next week. Next month you pay you go to marketplace to buy the same goods, the same service as today and you pay for next month. That's why the cost that you pay not the same from day to day. The cost that you pay not the same from day to day, from week to week, from month to month. Even though you buy the same goods, from day to day, from week to week, from month to month, but you may pay different cost. Why you pay different cost while you buy the same goods, the same services every day? This is because of price change. Okay, this is because of price change. That's why step 4, choose a base year and compute CPI. Designate or set or choose one period. I say 1 year, maybe one period. One period as a base year. Make it as a benchmark against which other year are compared. Okay. Designate one period. If you study about 1 year, it's study about year. 1 year is study about month, 1 month, but normally year. Okay. Designate 1 year as the best year, and make this best year as a benchmark in order to compare to the other years. Okay. So in order to calculate CPI, we have one method, we have one way that has 4 steps. So again, step 1, to summarize, step 1, you need to standardize the basket. It means you need to set what goods to put in your basket, what service to put in your basket. This good and service must be the most important to you. Okay, so if this good in this service are most important to your life, you cannot change it. Every day you consume it, every day you buy it. That's why this is Q in your basket. Then this good that you put into your basket is not free of charge. You need to pay. And you will ask how much to pay for this good. In order to know how much to pay in good, you need to find the price. You need to ask the price. Okay, you know the price. Step 2, find the price. If you buy this good, you find price of that good. If you buy this service, you will find price of this service. So if you know price, and if you know quantity, and you know how much to pay, you need to take the price that you have, multiply the quantity that you buy. This is the cost that you will pay for this product. But if you buy many goods and many services in your basket, you need to add them together. This is step 3. Okay, from one day you pay this amount, next day you pay the other amount, the other day you pay the other amount. That's why in order to compare, we use CPI index. So in order to get index, you need to choose one period as the base. So step 4, choose one period as the base and then compute price index. How to compute price index? We need to go to this formula. This is the way that we use in order to compute price index or CPI for current period. Okay, so this is 4 steps in order to calculate CPI or compute CPI. Due to tables 18.1 and 18.2 on this page of your textbook, we can see that the CPI in 2015 is 1.25 relative to base year CPI, relative to or compared to the base year CPI. Okay, so based on 18.1, 18.2, the base year is 2010. Your textbook is CPI 2015 1.25, but it should be 125. How to get 125? By multiply by 100. So your textbook not multiplied by 100, that's why only 1.25. By take this amount, this is the cost basket in 2015 divided by the cost of basket in 2010. In your textbook not multiplied by 100, that's why 125. But it must be multiplied by 100 to get 125. Okay, this is if you take your textbook on these pages through tables 18.1, 18.2, you can see 1.25 CPI 2015 compared to CPI in 2010 base year, but it should be it must be 125. It is calculated and reported every month by BLS in the United States. However, in Cambodia, it is done by the Bureau of CPI, National Accounts Department of the National Institute of Statistics, NAS. CPI is calculated from prices of thousands or hundreds of goods services in the basket that are available in the marketplace for each country, for each economy, and that goods or those services are most important for people in that countries. Okay, in Cambodia we don't have up to 1,000. In Cambodia we have up to hundreds. It's about in Cambodia the basket, the standard basket in CPI in Cambodia is about 250. Okay, it's about 250, sometimes 258 or 50. Yes, from 250 to 160 is about that amount every month that CPI compiler in Cambodia choose. So why is it different? Because some months we have this, because especially some products or some services are seasonal product or services. They are available in only some seasons, some months. That's why normally in Cambodia, the basket CPI, the standard basket for compute CPI Cambodia is about 250 to 260, something like this. Exercise. Okay, returning to tables 18.1, 18.2, find the CPI for 2015. If the rent on apartment falls from 750 in 2010 to 700 in 2015, while the prices of burgers, movie tickets in these 2 years, 2010 and 2015, remain the same. Okay, so only suppose when you go to your textbook, yes, this is table 18.1. You can see monthly household budget of typical family or household in 2010 as base year. So typical family or household, they spend their month on rent, 2-bedroom apartment. Per month, this household or this family spends 750, and they buy burgers, 60 burger every month. The price $2 each, so total payment for burger. And they go to see movie, and they go 10 times per month, and every day, also every time that they go to see, they buy ticket, and ticket $7. That's why this is the amount they pay for movie per month. So total in the basket in this the basket for this family is 2 apartment, hamburger, and movie. Okay, only 3 products. Okay, that's why this is total cost that they pay every month in 2010. Every month, January, February, March, they pay that amount every month. Why? They buy the same amount, and suppose the price not change during the year. Okay. So the 18.2 is about 2015. They buy the same goods because in their basket is still 1 apartment, 60 burger, 10 time movie. Okay, so that standard, their basket not change standard. But in this case, in our example here, in 2015, we not change it. Yes, in example, in exercise here. In exercise here, unlike this one, they change to apartment. They change from 750 2010 to 945 in 2010. But in our exercise here, not saying that one, but from 750 2010 to 700 in 2015. That's why based on this one, they should be 700. So it should be 700. That's why while the price of burger, the price of movie, they stay the same. So this is stay the same, but change only to one. So this is not that one. Okay, not that one. So that in 2015, the basket cost is not 1,000 something. So new case will be just new case will be 890. Okay, so the base year cost in 2000, the base year cost 2000 for basket is 940. You can see from table point 1 that I just show. While the cost a basket in 2015 is only 890. Why 890? Because the price of burger, the price movie are stay the same. So by amount of movie and amount of stay the same. So we can we have no change in terms of burger and movie, but we change in terms of rent for apartment. So the rent for apartment is cheaper than the previous one. That's why the cost of basket is lower than previous one. Previous one in 2010, now 2015. That's why in order to compute CPI 2015, we need to take the cost of basket in 2015 divided by the cost of basket in base year and multiply by 100. So in this case, CPI in 2015 is 94.18. Previous slide, the CPI 2015, you remember that 125. Okay, so because this in this case why cheaper? Because of apartment cheaper, apartment rent is cheaper. That's why when apartment rent is cheaper, the cost of basket lower. When the cost of basket lower compare with previous one, that means we can compare base year. So today it pay less. That's why CPI is lower. Okay. So again, so CPI 2015 based on previous exercise or previous slide 125, but now only 94.68 or maybe 94.7. Okay. Anyway, it has meaning, but we will see later on. When CPI go up, what does it mean? When CPI down like this one, what does it mean? Okay, this is the way that we find CPI 2015 when the rent apartment cheaper than before. Find the CPI for 2010. Because 2010 as the best year, that's why CPI of best year, that's why the cost of basket in the best year is 940. So while the cost of 2010 is also 940. So CPI in best year equal to 100. Why? Why CPI in best year equal to 100? Because in order to get CPI for 1 year, 1 period, you need to get the cost of that period divided by the cost of base period and multiply by 100. But because of 2010 as a base year, so the cost of 2010 also the cost of base year. That's why the cost 2010 divided by the cost of 2010 itself multiplied by 100 is 100. So remember that one. In base year, in base period, the CPI is always equal to 100. In base year or in base period, CPI equal to 100. Maybe you still remember from previous chapter. Remember that GDP deflator. GDP deflator have the same function as CPI because GDP deflator is index that we use in order to study overall change price level in economy. However, CPI also the index that we use in order to check overall change the price, overall cost of living in economy. That's why CPI and GDP deflator play the same roles. Okay, for that one. Okay, if you go to your textbook again, on this page 474, you can see example 18.1. Okay, so this is, I may go back to table 18.1 and table especially table 18.1 and table 18.2 because we have 2 years. 18.1 is about 2010, 18.2 is about 2010 and 2015 together. Remember that in 2010 the typical family or household, they buy what? They buy apartment. They rent apartment, they buy burger, they buy movie ticket. So three goods. It should be apartment is not good. So apartment is service, movie is service. So this is 2 service and 1 go together. So 3 items in the basket. Okay, 3 items in the basket. We can find that CPI 2010 as a base year equal to 100. CPI 2015 based on 18.1, 18.2, not based on previous slide exercise. This is 125. Okay. Now, in basket right now, it's not standard. Okay. Suppose that additional to the 3 goods which is typical consumer consume in 2010, they also bought 4 sweater put 1 sweater. So this is a problem already. But now we just don't care about this problem. This is a problem. But now just ignore this problem. We will discuss later on. So the family buy new product into the basket. So they also bought 4 sweaters at $30 each in 2010. And 2015 they buy the same amount of sweater, but the cost is not 30. The price is $50 each. The price of the other goods not change. The price of apartment from 2010 to 2015 stay the same. The price of burger 2010 2015 stay the same. The price of movie ticket 2010 2015 stay the same. So in this case, with this additional item, what was the change in family cost of living 2010-2015? So in example, in the text, the cost of best basket is 940. Additional four sweater at $30 each make our cost basket in 2010 increase from 940 to $1,060. What does this the same basket including 4 sweater in 2015? So 2015 the apartment stay the same, burger stay the same, movie ticket stay the same, but we add 4 sweater with price $50 each. That's why our cost basket cost 2015 moved or increased from 1,175. This is old cost without sweater. The new cost is 1,375. So if you know, if you know the cost of a basket in 2010, the cost of basket in 2015, new cost of basket 2010, new cost basket 2015. That's why you can find CPI. CPI equal to cost of basket in 2015 divided by the cost of basket in 2010, because 2010 as a base year, and multiplied by 100. But in the textbook I mentioned already, the author did not multiply by 100. But you should be multiplied by 100. That's why this is based on textbook without multiplying by 100 is 1.3. But if you multiply by 100, it's about 130. So based on new case, the family spending will increase 30% from 2010 to 2015. While the old exercise, they include only 25%, from 100 to 125. Okay, but this is a new case, and new case from 100 to 130. It should be 130. That's why 30% increase their consumption. Okay, so yes, this is we compare the old information with the new information. That's why with the old, only 3 items in the basket. From 2010 to 2015, typical family spend more, only 25%. But if they buy 4 items in the basket, from 2010 to 2015, this typical family spends up to 30% increasing. Okay, so this is you can go to see the, this page. Okay, concept check. If you go to the same page as this example, you can see concept check 18.1. Okay, I'm not going to the textbook. You go to by yourself and study concept check. Okay. Consumer Price Index measuring price level. The CPI does not measure the price of a specific good or a specific service. So again, CPI is a tool that economists use in order to measure overall cost or all prices of goods services in economy, in the basket, not in economy, in the basket. So CPI does not capture one specific good price, one specific service price. No. CPI is about all prices, all goods in the basket, standard basket. Okay, so CPI does not measure the price of a specific good or a specific. Indeed, it has no units of measurement. It has no unit of measurement at all. Okay, it has no unit of measurement at all. That's why when you go to see formula, okay, when you see the formula, this is multiplied by 100, not 100%, not 100%. But the cost here in terms of dollar currency, but CPI not currency dollar unit. Okay, not currency unit or not dollar unit. Why? Because, for example, since the currency unit or dollar unit in numerator or the fraction cancel with the dollars or currency unit in the denominators. Okay, numerator or fraction. What is fraction? This is fraction. Okay, for example, I can say that this is $3, $5. This is fraction. This is we call numerator. Here you can see I show you here. This is denominator. So this is $3. This is $5. That's why we can dollar we can sell. We can cancel it. So finally we have only that one. So we can cancel it. That's why CPI has no units of measurement. So the CPI is index. That's why it's a number, no units, no kilogram, no percentage, no ton, no kilometer, no liter. Okay. So CPI has no units of measurement. As yes, in order to compute CPI, we have the dollar up here, we have the dollar down here. Dollar in numerator, dollar in denominator. That's why dollar here, we can cancel it. Rather, CPI is an index. That's why index is a number, no unit. The values of an index is a particular year. In the particular year has meaning only in comparison with the values of that index in the other years. So the values of an index, in particular year or in particular period has meaning only in comparison with the value of the same index in the other period or in the other year. Okay, so index is a number, is a tool that we use in order to compare from year to year, one period to period, from month to month, something like this. A price index. A price index measures the average price of a given class, a given basket, a given group of goods and services. A group and services relative to compared to the prices of the same class, the same basket, the same groups of goods services in base year. Okay, that's why this is represent a formula. But our formula just multiply by 100. But the statement we don't multiply by 100. That's why this is price index. So price index measures the average price of given class or given class or given basket or given group or goods services compared to the price of relative price compared to the average price of the same goods, same services, same basket in base year. Okay, the CPI is an especially well known as the price index. That's why price index here is CPI. Price index is CPI. So the CPI is especially well known as price index, one of many that economists use in order to assess, in order to check, in order to evaluate the economic trend in one country, in one economy. CPI measures the change in consumer price. Consumer price means buying price. That means final product price. So CPI measures the change in final product's price. Okay, maybe you remember from previous chapter, we have final product, we have semi-product, we have capital product or capital goods. Okay, so remember from the previous chapter, we have consumer goods, we have some intermediate goods, we have capital goods. Consumer goods or final goods, intermediate goods, and capital goods. So in this case, CPI capture only, or we use CPI only to study the change in final good price or consumer good price, not intermediate good price, not capital good price. Other indexes, producers price index, okay, import export price index. So beside final good price, we have, yes, it should be producer price index. It should be capture like capital good price or intermediate price. However, import export price, it captures commodities, goods or products that are across the countries borders. Okay, so you will have the other concept check 18.2 on this page 474. Okay, so I stop this movie by that slide and let you watch and study.